Hello and welcome. My name is Stephan Seiber. I'm the CEO of Transporeon. Today I'm addressing you from our customer summit here in Barcelona. It's an exciting day for us as Transporeon. We have more than 500 customers here with us, equally shippers, carriers, logistics service providers, as well as partners. And it's also an exciting day for me personally because earlier today I have announced that I will be stepping down from my position as the CEO of Transporeon. And I will be handing over to Chris Keating, who is here with me. This is a result of us being acquired by Trimble and bringing the two companies closer and closer together. I'm excited to be able to have somebody like Chris as my successor. He joined Trimble more than 10 years ago, also through an acquisition, so he knows exactly how it feels. He has also proven that he can actually run and grow a business substantially under Trimble's ownership, and I am 100% confident that he is the right person to take the lead on Transporeon and take this company to the next heights.
Yeah, thank you, Stephan. And I'm Chris Keating. I'm currently the Senior Vice President of Strategy at Trimble, and like Stephan just said, I am taking over leading the Transporeon team, and I couldn't be more excited to jump in action with this team. And I'm also excited to literally spend time with customers and partners at this Transporeon Summit event here in Barcelona. One of the things one of the catchphrases we're rallying around, Stephan, is better together. You have a business degree, I have a business degree. One of the most overused terms in business is synergies. It's a term that I've come to kind of dislike. So I love that we're rallying around better together. When you think about better together and maybe talking about the buildup of Transporeon to get us to this place in terms of acquisitions you've made over the last couple of years and organic developments that you've made over the last couple of years, how do you kind of see all that positioning our eventual better together with Trimble and Transporeon coming together?
Yeah, it's a good question. So I would say like the 4 years that I had with Transporeon were really about taking this already great company, which was, I would say, almost a little bit a combination of loosely coupled market leading applications and turning this into a real platform. The vast majority of our growth in those 4 years was organic growth. Yes, we did acquisitions. We did 7 acquisitions in those 4 years. They were all relatively small acquisitions in terms of revenue and customers, so we didn't really buy market share. But what we did buy is we did buy talent, we did buy capabilities, and with this we also expanded the reach and the functional breadth and depth of our platform. And I think in the meantime we can really say that Transporeon has really turned into a balanced platform that equally serves load givers, shippers, logistics service providers, as load takers, fleet operators. It also supports the good recipients. They are also part of this transportation equation. And I am 100% confident that the Transporeon platform can also somehow act almost as a nucleus for Trimble industry clouds that Trimble wants to build and is building in transportation, but also beyond.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the reasons I mentioned that I'm SVP of Strategy at Trimble is because one of the things we're trying to do at Trimble is pull together Trimble and all the various industries that we serve into a coherent platform and move our client applications to the cloud, right? And you've already done that. So it's not lost on me that you've set the team up for success, you've set me up for success, and you've set Trimble up for success.
We as a small company, we obviously, when we built our platform, we always went to market. We picked a customer problem, we solved it as fast as possible, and then we tried to scale the maximum out of what we built as a platform. And Trimble, obviously, with a lot more resources, different industries that also bring in different perspectives, has an opportunity to build a much more comprehensive and a much more powerful industry platform that supports these, as I call it, capital-intensive, mission-critical industries that move the world, feed the world, and build the world, right? That's sort of what Rob used today in his keynote presentation here. And that's an exciting opportunity, right? And I couldn't think of a better home for for Transporeon in two ways. It's a great message for the customers, and it's a great message for our employees, and there's nothing more than a technology company has than people and customers, right?
Yeah, I agree. If I talk about my kind of provenance at Trimble and leading the SketchUp team, which I had led from our Google days, and it was me and 32 others that came over to Trimble in 2012, 10, 11 years ago, like you mentioned. I'm picking up on a lot of similarities already. Okay, it's early days for me here with Transporeon, but one of the similarities I'm picking up on is when SketchUp was brought to Trimble, I felt like we landed an alien spaceship within Trimble, right? Going to the first quarterly business review and talking about things like Black Friday online e-commerce deals and stuff like that, right? And people's heads were exploding in the QBR room. I think there's a similarity here in that the Transporeon operation business models at play are unique to Trimble as you come in, right? So there's a lot to learn there on the Trimble side. Also, you spoke at the keynote this morning, and I think you just said it now, about satisfying all players in the network equally, right? And being very choosy about what features, functionality the team works on to make sure that everybody's satisfied that's participating in the network. We did that same thing with the SketchUp team. We used the term democratization, democratizing 3D modeling so that everybody could do it equally and everybody could learn it, no matter if you were a second grader or a college and on up, or a professional architect, right? It kind of scaled through all those areas. And yeah, so I think a lot of similarities coming in.
I think I can the analogy with the alien spaceship you make, it somehow resonates with me. On the other hand, I have to say that first of all, it's not uncommon for Transporeon to be rather unique in our business model. The way we do things, what we do, also how we monetize our platform is quite unique. So we're quite used to explaining our business model.
Yeah.
The other thing that I find important is that we've done 7 acquisitions, as I said. All of them were substantially smaller than Transporeon. So probably the relative size between Transporeon and the acquisitions we've done was probably to some extent almost comparable to the relative size between Trimble and Transporeon. So it is now that we can prove that we also learn from being an acquirer and now can bring these learnings into being the acquired company. And then most importantly, given this is a 15,000 people company, I think including Transporeon, 15,000.
I was including the 1,200 new.
Okay, so excluding Transporeon, 14,000. I think Rob and the E team, yourself and your peers, you guys are running a very pragmatic approach, which I find refreshing and which I find encouraging. And last but not least, from the very first interactions with Rob, but then also with the broader team in the process of being acquired, I was building a growing confidence that the cultural match between the two companies is very good. So I'm, and those are most likely the most important prerequisites you have for the success of such a combination. So I'm really positive and optimistic about this paying off and working for all the parties involved.
Yeah, excellent. I think in terms of the concept of uniqueness, that is, to me, it's the essence of strategy, right? We should embrace that uniqueness that you're bringing to Trimble, that uniqueness that the Transporeon team has.
Everybody wants multi-sided networks. Everybody wants those flywheel effects that digital platforms give. Everybody knows that a consumption-based monetization model is the most sustainable, the most powerful monetization model that exists, because it is the only one that truly aligns the interests of suppliers and customers and all the parties involved. And I think with Transporeon, Trimble gets a team that has a lot of experience in this, right? It's probably one of the most experienced teams in the industry in running such a platform. And I'm sure that there is a great added value for the Trimble transportation sector, but as I said before, also beyond.
Yeah, okay. Just to come back and maybe wrap up about a concept that we started with, and that's better together, Transporeon plus Trimble. So there's obvious synergies there, right? There's our Trimble North American centric versus Transporeon's European centric. There's Trimble's carrier centric business versus, at least from an origin story standpoint, versus Transporeon's supplier centric business. There's the fact that the Trimble carrier business in Europe are larger fleets versus 10 trucks or less, which I think it makes up the Transporeon customers here. There's bringing Trimble maps to Europe, which is a kind of a de facto routing and navigation solution in North America. Those are the ones that I can think of in my early days. Have you thought of more? Or
actually, you almost named them all. The one that I would add is the ability to connect the physical and the digital world.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which, and this is sort of the red thread across all the verticals, all the industries that Trimble is serving. Those are all, as I said before, capital-intensive, mission-critical industries that require this high-precision geospatial data. And this is ultimately what also in transportation is needed. One of the first speeches that I have seen from Rob was a presentation he did at an investor day. It most likely is still available on the website. So if anybody wants to go and check it under investor relations. And there he talked about if we could give, and that's a North American statistic, a US most likely statistics, but if we could give 18 minutes of additional driving time to every truck driver in the United States, then the driver shortage would be solved, right? Yeah. Now, if you translate that 18 minutes, probably means 2 wrong turns a day. Yeah. So when you think about what Transporeon does with dock and yard management, what Trimble Maps can do in calculating the radius a truck needs to take in order to enter into a yard and proactively give advice from where to approach the yard, well then you can really very tangibly, very practically deliver a better together story of something that we can now deliver because we are together, that each of us on its own couldn't have delivered. And it contributes to removing those, we say 30% waste that are in the industry, and that alone in Europe generates 60 billion of economic damage every year. So if we just solve 10%, 20% of it, we're already a lot further ahead.
Yeah, okay, great. Very well said. I want to thank you again personally for your support, and I know we're going to have a beer here and there to talk shop.
I hope so.
in and around Ulm. But thanks for your support. It's been great. Yeah.
And we're only at the beginning, right? I'm looking forward to the next few weeks and months working with you and the team, and I'm sure it will be a great success and a continued success.
Yeah, likewise. So, just to finish us off here, stay tuned. There'll be plenty more content on this channel going forward. Thanks, everybody.